Hey everybody, welcome to the Moto Pilot YouTube channel. Today we're on my 2013 Harley-Davidson Street Glide. And if somebody would have told me even a year ago I'd be riding one of these, I'd have been like, nope, not going to happen, you're crazy. And I'm not saying everybody will own one at one time, but if you do happen to end up getting one, it may be the last bike you'll ever buy. Let's ride. So before I tell you guys why I think this will be like the last bike you'll ever buy, let me give you a quick breakdown of my history with bikes. Like most of us that were basically born with a passion for bikes, we always start off in the dirt. You know, I think I got my first Yamaha MX-80 when I was probably around 10 years old, and then that quickly evolved into getting a Yamaha MX-100 and then a YZ-100, and I was racing motocross. I did start racing motocross when I was 16 years old in high school. Back then it was really big. High school motocross was huge, believe it or not. I never heard of that now. And then I graduated to the pro class in 1978. Oh boy, what's going on here? Okay, yeah, 1978, I turned pro. I was riding a CR250. So I basically grew up on dirt bikes, big time moto head. I was designing motocross gear for Malcolm Smith Racing for 18 years. So basically, motocross was my deal, man. I was big time into motocross. I didn't even ride street. I mean, I'd borrow a buddy's bike here and there and burn some miles on the tarmac, but for the most part, I was all about dirt. And then I got a job at Scorpion Helmets as a designer, and the owner had a VFR 800, which just so happens to be the bike that I'm doing a build on in my garage right now. Go check that out. And started riding that back and forth to work every day. It was basically my commuter bike, and I was like, this thing's badass. It's got the V4 engine, sounds like an Aprilia, and that was my beginning into street. And then a buddy of mine was selling a Harley-Davidson Fat Boy, and I don't know why, I just got a wild thing. Everybody around me was riding Harleys and going out and having fun. I'm like, well, I want to join the crew, so I bought that Fat Boy off of him. And I tricked it out in my style. I made it candy red with some ghost flames. I put 18-inch ape hangers on it, and it was a beautiful bike. It actually ended up winning 3 Best of Show trophies. So that was kind of my delve into the Harley-Davidson world. My dad had a Harley-Davidson when I was a kid, and he actually ended up getting T-boned on it, and he ended up losing a leg from that crash. So anyways, I had some Harley heritage in my blood already because of my dad. Years go by, I had that Fat Boy for 15 years, and rode the crap out of it. And then I got tired of it, and I did a build series here on YouTube converting that bike into a bobber. I'm like, I want something different. I want something that bobbers to me were just a bad looking bike. That's what I want. So I converted that bike into a bobber, did a complete build series on YouTube. I think it was like 9 videos. And that video, the time lapse of all those videos went crazy. I think it's now at about over 9 million views between YouTube and Facebook. Anyhow, so I was already in the Harley scene, but at the same time, I had bought me an Aprilia RSV4, which is like one of the most wicked sport bikes you can own. I was burning up the streets on that. I was doing track days and having a great time on it. I also had the VFR 800 at the same time, and then I had also had a Suzuki GSXS 1000F that I had bought to replace the VFR for commuting because the VFR was getting old. Literally, I wanted something fresh and new in my life. So I had so many bikes, and I'm just giving you guys an idea of how many different types of bikes I enjoy. I'm into dirt, I'm into sport bikes, I'm into Harleys, cruisers, so on. Anyhow, how did I end up on this bagger? Well, dude, it was weird. I was just driving somewhere. Me and the wife go to dinner every Friday night, and I think we were driving to dinner, and my brain's always turning and coming up with new ideas. And I was just like, you know what? I feel really selfish with all my bikes. There's not a single bike that the wife wants to get on the back of and really enjoy. Even when I had the Fat Boy, she'd get on the back of that, but it wasn't a great ride. It was slammed to the ground, and I didn't have bags, didn't have anywhere to put stuff. I hated not having places to put my stuff. And it just always made riding difficult. So one day I go, you know what? I'm going to sell my Harley bobber that I custom built to one of my viewers on my channel, or whoever wants to buy it. It did end up being one of my YouTube channel subscribers out of Arizona bought it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to get a bagger so me and the wife can go on rides with all of our friends. She's comfortable. I'm comfortable. There's bags to put all your stuff, you know, jackets, extra gloves. If it gets warm, you can shut off some clothing and stick it in the bags. I just felt like one day I was like, it's time to get a bagger. And a bagger's not like it used to be, where they're just these big, I mean, yeah, they're big, heavy bikes. They weigh like 800 pounds or whatever. But the trend right now is performance baggers. There's even that, the race that they did up at Laguna Seca, King of the Baggers. And they're becoming really like more of a youth-oriented bike. It's not just an old man's bike anymore. A lot of younger people are buying them now. A lot of guys that ride motocross are jumping on these things, between the street glide and the road glide. And you can put a lot of performance stuff in these bikes. Yeah, they're never going to be like a sport bike. Don't even go there, but it's a bitchin' bike, man. It's very agile when you ride it for being a big, heavy bike. Having the wind not beating me down, I can ride this thing all day long, and I'm not even ready to get off the bike. On my bobber, I'd ride it for an hour, and I'm like, you know, put a fork in me, I'm done. So I wanted something that I could ride longer. I wanted like a stereo, so I got a whole sound system upgrade put on this bike. It's just a comfortable machine, and having the bags is priceless, dude. Not only for rides, but I'll go out and I'll run errands. Like, I'm coming home from Home Depot right now. I'll run all over. I'll go to the grocery store on this thing and pack up the bags with groceries. It's just a fun bike to have, man. I love this thing, and everybody who owns one, they love that bike. It's like they've always liked bikes, but they finally got a bike that they can love and enjoy for miles and miles. And that's just the great thing about the Bagger series from Harley-Davidson. So my point is, even though I started off as motocross, I was a motocrosser. I was totally into sport bikes. I loved my Aprilia RSV4. Very amazing machine. I still ended up on a Harley Bagger as being my favorite bike of all the bikes I've had. I'll probably never sell this thing, because, you know, yeah, it's a 2013. It'd be cool to have a newer one, but I'm in the middle of doing a build series on this bike, and I've got a ton of sponsors that have dumped product at this thing, and it's nowhere near from being done. There's a lot more to do, and it's going to get a full-on paint job. I got this awesome paint job going on it, and it's going to be a cool, sexy machine. So if you guys ever get a chance to ride one, go to Harley-Davidson, do a test ride on one, and you might fall in love too. It doesn't mean it'll be the only bike you love, but I'm telling you, if you get one, you'll probably never get rid of it, or you'll probably be on beggars for the end of your days. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. Check out my other videos. Oh, look at this guy. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just cruising along here, doing my thing. I'll see you guys in the next video.